Them angry because they like to be independent, you know, or pretend to be independent. The same thing happened in England. As many of you probably read in the Sunday Times and Tribune, there was a great fear in England concerning me speaking to the West Indian community. And this is because England has a very serious color problem developing, because so many of our people are migrating there from the British West Indies. France, quietly as it is kept, has a very serious color problem developing because of the migration to France of our people from the French West Indies. And with these people from the French West Indies, black people going to France, others from the British West Indies going to England, coupled with the Asians who are coming from the Commonwealth territories, along with the Africans from French Equatorial West Africa, formerly into France, and the British possessions into Britain. There's a large, increasing number of dark-skinned people swelling the dark population of France and Britain, and it's giving them a great deal of cause for worry. The only difference over there and over here being that no one of black skin in France has ever tried to unite the dark-skinned people together. Neither have they done so in England. So you can somewhat see what their fear is. No effort has been made to unite the Afro-American community or the American Negro community with the West Indian community, and then those two communities with the African community, and those communities with the Asian community. This has never been done.
Think for a moment of the threat Malcolm now posed to Western interests. In a short time, he had clearly won over Africans wherever he spoke and was organizing them. He was amidst doing the very same thing with Africans in France and England. And he had a similar agenda for African descendants in the Caribbean, Central, and South America. Moreover, he was building a base here in the United States and was forming alliances with a broad spectrum of blacks in this nation, including the Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee and with the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King, Jr. Given time, he might have been able to unify all of these factions. But there's the rub. Concurrently, elements within the Nation of Islam were closing in on Malcolm.
The black Muslim movement tried to kill me in Los Angeles airport while I was in the company of the Los Angeles police. The Los Angeles police stopped the TWA airlines from taking off. They slipped me into a private room onto the plane through the basement because of the presence of these persons in the airport who were completely heedless of the presence of the police. Now, this airliner was held up an hour and a half. Every passenger aboard it was taken off. His luggage was searched. I was kept on the plane. My luggage was searched. And then the TW Airlines security agent flew to Chicago from Los Angeles with me. I was met at the airport in Chicago by the Assistant Attorney General of the state of Illinois and at least 20 different detectives. I was held in their custody for 24 hours. I appeared on the Cup Sonnet show. When I came out of the studio, officials of the black Muslim movement in Chicago even tried to attack the police to get at me. Police department from coast to coast in this country have the black Muslim movement well infiltrated, just as they have any other group well infiltrated. They are well aware of these plots and discussions that take
just like rats do. They were ready to start eating his flesh, and they did everything they could to bring him down.
Never have the Muslims anywhere in the country gotten any kind of instruction from the national office or headquarters on how to defend themselves when they are attacked by outsiders. The only times the Muslims have ever been given any instructions to commit violence is when that violence is directed against a fellow Muslim.
He felt he was the cause of them being involved. And he had encouraged people to give money that they shouldn't have given, people who had taken money from their families that they should have been spending on their families. And had put this money into the nation to help build what they looked for as the future nation where they would all have an opportunity in.
So he
were
felt
subject to that.
responsible to do what?
And he felt responsible to make them know what was taking place so that they wouldn't continue to do this.
Even if his life?
Even if his life was at stake. And you couldn't turn him around.
Well, I very much doubt that any of his followers who really are aware of what he has done would continue to follow him. He may try and justify it by saying that he's a Muslim, and that a Muslim has a right to these wives. If this were the case, these sisters should not have been humiliated. These sisters have been looked upon for the past 5 years, or 6 years, or 7 years as being guilty of having committed fornication. They have been debased, they have been degraded. I have heard him himself refer to them as having disgraced him. So if they were his wives, he should have given them a position of respect so that all of his followers would respect them and that they would have the protection of his followers today.
Well, we say that if he wants to talk against Muhammad, then he might jeopardize himself with the public, because there are many people living in America today that have benefited gainfully. And today they walk with their chest out and their chin up. This is because they have, for the first time in 400 years, a man of strength and integrity that they can follow and honor as a leader.
Then you wouldn't put it past some of your followers to try and get Malcolm?
I wouldn't put it past a Christian to punch somebody out for talking about Jesus, just outrightly.
I'm in the house that was provided for me, although we're in a court battle, they're trying to get it back. And I have made this statement to them concerning the house, that they could have it. If they would take me back, that they would permit me to come before the Muslim movement, the rank and file, and explain or defend myself against all of the charges that they've made against me, they could have the house. But they are going contrary to their own laws by standing up in the mosque and indicting me, but never giving me a chance to defend myself. And they say that no one can judge me but Mr. Muhammad. In this case, Mr. Muhammad can't sit as judge because he's involved in the case.
Malcolm's house was firebombed. He and his family barely escaped with their lives. This left Malcolm all but defenseless, and with the agony of knowing that his life would soon end, not at the hands of white racists, but at the hands of some of his own people. Yes, there were elements within government surveillance agencies that were orchestrating and allowing events to transpire. But we must face the fact that there were black men who would become so clouded that they would kill one of the very best members of our race. Black men who, as Malcolm said, never raised their fists against the Klan or the White Citizens Council. Somehow, however, they found the militancy to murder a man of the caliber of Malcolm X.
Oh, yes, I probably am a dead man already.
And I heard my husband say, everything is all right, everything is all right. And someone about third or so that was seated in about the third row stood up, and I heard shots, and I saw people crawling on the floor. And so I got down too. But then when I was looking out, and I saw someone look in amazement to the front, I knew they had shot my husband. And my children were crying, you know, what's going on, are they going to shoot us? And I just knew they had shot him.
Mrs. Shabazz, do you believe it was the black Muslims who assassinated your husband? When they were charging Malcolm with having bombed his own home, most people were not aware that not only did Malcolm not have a lot of money, but he didn't even have personal insurance on his own life or on his furniture. And I think this might indicate to some degree his dedication and the unlikelihood of him having bombed his own home, unless you want to believe he shot himself today as well.
He's trying to unite the Negroes in this country with the Afro-Americans in this country, I should say, with the Africans throughout the world.
Since the bombing of your home, has the police made any effort to offer you protection?
If
If Malcolm's assassins are caught, what do you think should be done with them?